As Mrs. VacLab gets ready to do her second whole house carpet cleaning, let's take a look at the machine that she's going to use today on the second floor, that is the Kirby G3, and let's compare it to the machine that she's previously used, that is the Centria 2, and let's specifically zero in on the transmission pedal debacle. If you take a look at the transmission pedal here in this G3, it's actually a solid pedal. There is no split in it. So if you push it into drive, the D goes down, the neutral part of the pedal, like a teeter-totter, comes up, and this really can't move. It can't wiggle a whole lot. So this is solid right here. And of course, when you push it back into neutral, forces the end down, forces the drive up, and this really can't wiggle a whole lot. That's just the way these older G-series machines are. Now you notice that the pedal here in the Centria 2 is split. It literally has a split in it. And if you push it down into drive, certainly the D goes down and the N comes up somewhat, but this can wiggle a bit. As a matter of fact, it can even come down a little bit to appear, or to make this Centria 2 appear like it's actually in neutral when it's still in drive. You haven't heard the neutral disconnect click yet until I do this. Now it's actually in neutral. And of course, the drive pedal is, stuck up, and the neutral pedal can literally flop all over the place. That's just, look at this. So let's see, it's in neutral and drive at the same time. See that big split there where my finger is? So for the people that swore that she actually fooled everybody and put the whole machine into neutral, and that's why it was difficult to push, it's just because of the optics of what this split pedal can actually do. So see that right there? Makes it seem like, or from an auditory standpoint, oh, I heard a noise, it now must be in neutral. Not yet. Now it is. So just wanted to explain the difference. Also, this particular machine tested out at 151 CFM after refurbishment. This one I haven't tested after refurbishment yet with the new bearings and whatnot. Before refurbishment, I was testing at like 124, I think. So there's going to be a huge difference between CFM, between these two machines. That, believe it or not, 20 or 25 CFM is quite a difference when you're pushing it on thick medium pile carpet. In addition to that, there's a transmission gearing difference between these two machines. This one is set up for, shall we say, maximum boost, and this one is set up for something that's much less than that. And when you take the fact that this has a lot more CFM and has a much weaker transmission, I mean, that's just the way Kirby designed it, probably to eliminate some jerking and bucking on some carpets. This machine ends up being much more difficult to push than this one does. But on certain carpets, it's possible this one could get a little jittery. So we'll see how she likes it when she does her second whole house carpet cleaning, at least on the second floor. On the first floor, she's picked a different machine other than the G3. Yeah, so we're figuring out what the driving experience is going to be, the differences between the Centria 2 and the G3. She's decided that she wants to vacuum in bare feet. I'm like, well, just realize that the transmission, the pushability, is a little different in the G3 than it is in the Centria 2. Woo. Okay, so ready? Okay, so we can put the Centria 2 back in my closet.
Bye-bye.
That's where it resides.
Bye-bye.
There it goes. Yeah, lifting that. I think that one's 23 pounds with the cord. Okay.
Ugly green cord.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad. So I don't think you can retro bright that, but yeah, all those white cords turn green. Okay, let her rip.
Woohoo! And she's off.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's like boogies.
don't need to see in the messy closet.
Yeah, you don't need to see my messy stuff.
You can just imagine what's in the closet.
You've seen it before, it hasn't changed. And they say women have lots of shoes.
Yeah. I am fully stocked up with New Balance and others.
Let's get rid of them.
can go into juniors.
Just don't put them.
All right. Look who's lying around. Okay, so What did you think of the G3 compared to the Centria 2?
Much lighter, faster.
Yeah. So that's just the way it is. Oh, yeah, and something else?
Just easy.
Yeah, and in fact, it didn't really feel like you were doing much of anything at all. Yeah, you just can't feel it.
Very light.
Yeah, kind of like power steering in a, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50-year-old Cadillac. You don't feel you're driving on any type of road whatsoever. All right, now she's got a, oh, did break a nail.
But it broke a
Oh,
nail.
no, broke a nail. Okay, well, it got the break a nail fail then. Now we're going to go down to the first floor, and by request, she has picked a machine she hasn't used in a long time that's going to drive very differently than the G3. And this is what my wife, Ellie, has chosen for her first floor vacuum. At one point in time, it was Thomas Rechtenwald's favorite vac to come over here during the mini-meets and run. And while I'm on the subject of Thomas Rechtenwald, wishing him well there in West Virginia, but the G3 that you saw her run on the second floor was also graciously donated by Thomas Rechtenwald. Okay, take it away, dear. Much harder to push.
Much heavier.
Yep.
Oh, there's no one finger anything on this one.
Nope.
I can push it with one, and well, I can slightly pull it with one, but that's pretty hard. Quite thick between the screen and the couch.
Yeah, compared to the G3, everything is heavy.
There's the tech.
That one's got a long enough cord. we can make it all the way across the house. And into the living room. Okay, let's re-plug in and finish up. Last two rooms. Hey, now we're re-plugged in, so let's finish up our last two rooms. Do the double pedal with that one too. Yeah, hard to push. Really sucks to the floor. So do you hear the squeaky bristles? They're old and they're clean, but they're squeaky. here ends Mrs. VacLab's whole house carpet cleaning, episode number 2. So any thoughts on this, well, kind of nice 90s looking green Riccar?
It's a nice vacuum, but it's way too heavy to push.
Yeah, way too hard to push, especially...
Suction and weight, I guess.
Yeah. Especially when you just did the G3, which is, I think, probably my easiest vacuum to use, despite it being very heavy, you know, like on a scale. This machine is much more difficult to push. All right, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll get a picture of her. She's so pretty.
So this is how our dog Rosie helps me dry the carpet out. Almost ready to see if this thing is ready for formalized testing. Maybe. What do you think, Rosie?